Jacksonville Jaguars fans, welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thanks so much for being here Monday, November 10th. A really, really sour taste in your mouth this morning after the Jaguars completely collapse, choke, fall apart against the Houston Texans. They were up 29-10 to start the fourth quarter. They fell apart. They lost the game. We talked about kind of the big picture stuff a little bit yesterday, and we'll do more of that moving forward. But right now, how did the Jaguars actually lose to the Texans 29-10? I rewatched every single play that happened multiple times after the Jaguars went up 29-10, and now I have a pretty good understanding of exactly what happened. So we're going to break that down right here, right now. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content here, please like and subscribe. Doing my best to provide high quality, insightful Jacksonville Jaguars content on a daily basis. You can also check out GenJag.com, pick up some new Duval gear if you are so inclined. So 29-10, Texans get the ball back. Pass rush was actually doing the job pretty well, in my opinion, on this drive. You had multiple plays where you had Jaguars winning cleanly one-on-one, and Davis Mills is having to throw the football away. You'd like to finish with a sack. Trayvon Walker had the opportunity to finish with a sack. And anything before 29-10, in my opinion, yes, there are little nits to pick, but it doesn't matter because you're up 29-10 with 16 minutes left in the game. You had done enough to be up by 3 scores entering the fourth quarter. None of the issues before that mattered. Like, it just simply doesn't matter because the team overcame everything at that point. Now, again, final drive, pass rush is doing a good job when they actually have an opportunity to do so. They're forcing Davis Mills to throw the football away at times. Every single completion on that drive, every single one by Davis Mills, ball was out at the top of his drop. Ball was out in 2.25 seconds or less. I timed every single one. The ball was out in 2.25 seconds or less, and a lot of times under 2 seconds. That's coverage. That's coverage. That's a quarterback feeling confident that he can throw the ball at the top of his drop, and the coverage is not going to do anything about it. So that's on the players and on the scheme. They were playing off. They were playing off coverage on this drive, pretty much almost exclusively on all these completions. He's like, okay, sure. I can take that. And then you have 9, and this is kind of a big picture moment, 9 yards per carry allowed by the Jaguars defense after they went up 29-10. 9 yards per carry. The Texans had 9 carries for 82 yards in the last 16 minutes of the game. That's insane. They had as many rushing yards in the last 16 minutes of the game as the Jaguars were allowing per game this season. That's that's pathetic. You have a really good run defense in the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were allowing like 3.5 yards per carry to opposing running backs entering this game. They were doing a good job. Last 16 minutes, the defense completely took their foot off the gas, in my opinion, against the run and on the back end in coverage. You allowed 9 yards per carry. So, Jags drive at 29-18 after the Texans have scored a touchdown and started the comeback. You have a good run by ETN to start. Then you have a great player in Danielle Hunter making a great play against a really bad player in Walker Little. Stuffs the run, I don't know, -5 yards, -4 yards, something like that. I want to also... So it was a great player making a great play. So Walker Little left tackle, Danielle Hunter one-on-one. Danielle Hunter, right before the snap, shifts from just on the outside shoulder of Walker Little to the inside shoulder, and he's crashing in. And so now in that situation, Walker Little is having to reach block against Danielle Hunter. And that is simply not going to happen. That is not going to work out for you. It's not. Stuffs it. Then you have 3rd and 9, again, against the best defense in football. Let's not forget that. This is the best defense in the league. Super long developing play on 3rd and 9. No one is open. Sack. It's like, okay, that was not a good drive by the Jags. You're still up 29-18. Not a big deal, right? Then you have a 42-yard punt by Logan Cook. And there was no one rushing on that punt. It's not like he had to get rid of the ball as quickly as he possibly could, and it just wasn't a very good punt. There was no one rushing. Logan Cook had all the time in the world to deliver a banger, a 60-yard kick, whatever. This is a guy that has the talent to kick it 70 yards, and he kicks it 42 yards with no pressure. That was horrible. That was a horrible punt. And the Texans get the ball right at midfield, basically. Then you have the Texans drive to get to 29-24. Great field position, as I mentioned. You have a quick drop on the first play. Ball out to Nico Collins, splitting the defenders in double coverage. Josh Hines-Allen was double teamed on that play, by the way. But the ball was out in 2 seconds. Under 2 seconds. It's like, okay, well, again, that's a quarterback feeling like the coverage can't do anything to stop me. You have some more run plays, right? They're getting in. They're super close to the end zone now. Again, because of your horrible punt. Because of getting sacked on 3rd and 9. Touchdown to Dalton Schultz. Josh was double teamed again on this one. And this was the one pass rush rep by the Jaguars in this run that the Texans went on, where the Jaguars had a 4-man rush. The coverage held up for over 3 seconds. Davis Mills didn't throw it until 4 seconds. He held the ball for a while. Josh Hines-Allen's double teamed. Trayvon Walker, nothing. Eric Armstead, nothing. DeJuan Smoot, nothing. Josh Hines-Allen double teamed. That was the one pass rush rep. And I've seen everybody talking about the pass rush, and even Liam Cohen talking about the pass rush. If the quarterback can get rid of the ball in 2.25 seconds or less, there is nothing your pass rush is going to do. It's about the coverage. Now, again, on this play, it was an embarrassing pass rush rep. But it's also embarrassing, in my opinion, that Buster Brown is in coverage of Dalton Schultz. And did Dalton Schultz get away with a push off? A little bit, maybe. But Buster Brown stops and just watches the ball. Like, oh, there it goes. Why do you stop running with the tight end? The tight end's still running towards, the offensive right side of the end zone. Why did Buster Brown stop running? I don't know. 2-point conversion, the pass rush was all over Davis Mills. They don't get it. And, Buster Brown gets the interception on the 2-point conversion. Good job, pass rush. So now Jags are up 29-24. They get the ball on their 45 thanks to a great Bashal Tutin return. Trevor Lawrence picks up 3. No one was open. Rolls out, picks up 3. Travis Etienne, really nice play design. Only picks up 3. They defend it well, but I did like the play design on that one. The kind of motion and misdirection. So it's 3rd and 4, which is a very, very manageable situation. Pass deflected, have kind of like flood concepts. Pass deflected and intended for Parker Washington. No one open. And Trevor Lawrence had to get rid of it before he really should have on that play. Why? Little gets absolutely smashed by Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter has a clean pass rush rep. Trevor gets it out, and Azeez Al-Shaair tips it at the line because he's spying the quarterback. That was a good defensive play call. That was Walker Little getting absolutely crushed by Danielle Hunter, and not much you can do. Punt. Texans to take the lead, 30-29. What happens on this drive? You're doing good on the first couple downs. You got them in 3rd and 10, deep in their own territory. And credit to Logan Cook, actually a decent punt there to get them there. 3rd and 10, deep in their own territory. Dalton Schultz schools Foye Luke and freezes him. Big time first down. Ball was out very quickly. And then they're just running all over you. As I mentioned, 9 yards per carry allowed on the ground. They get the ball. They're getting the ball closer. They're in scoring range. Then you get the horrible call on Jarian Jones. I mean, horrible call. And it is funny because Christian Kirk's running a slot fade, which is like one of his money routes for the Jaguars. That's a route that Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk have connected on so many times. Horrible call on Jarian Jones. I mean, that was just... But, you know, it is what it is. You shouldn't have been in a position for a bad call like that to change the game. Then you get the Mills touchdown run. You're in man coverage. The pass rush is coming. Trayvon Walker is in the pocket. He's in the backfield cleanly. No one at the second or third level has eyes on the quarterback because you're in man coverage, and you know you can't run man coverage. This Jaguars defense cannot cover in man. They can't. Touchdown. Texans take the lead. Jags final drive. Okay, what do we get here? Little gets beat in under 2 seconds by Danielle Hunter on the first play. Sack. Shocker. And by the way, another good return by Bashal Tootin. You don't have to get real far to get in Cam Little range to get into field goal range. Little gets obliterated by Danielle Hunter. Sack. Lawrence makes up for it with a huge run. 20-yard run. First down. You're in position. Next play, Trevor Lawrence. Roll out to the right side. Great throw to Parker Washington. First down. You're in field goal range. Everything is in front of you. Penalty. Chuma Edoga, hands to the face. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Trevor Lawrence did the job on the last drive. He overcame a horrible Walker Little pass pro rep. He got the ball to Parker Washington beyond midfield, well into Cam Little range. Team failed around him. Now it's 1st and 20 with 7 seconds left. You have to get at least 15 yards and get out of bounds. Long developing play. No one is open. Even if Trevor Lawrence got rid of the ball cleanly, the boundary is completely protected by Texans players, and there is no time. Curtains. That's game. I don't know what Trevor Lawrence was supposed to do in this situation. I don't know what Josh Hines-Allen was supposed to do. These are the two people I see getting blamed the most for this game, and they both played well. Josh Hines-Allen's getting double-teamed, and he's not getting double-teamed. He's winning and getting into the backfield. And Trevor Lawrence has a left tackle who cannot do anything, and he still overcomes that, and then you get a Chuma Edoga penalty. So that's exactly what happened. You have absolutely zero coverage ability. I think a lot of that was on the coaching, playing off coverage, playing passive. I really do. And they weren't blitzing at all down the stretch, the Jaguars. They just weren't doing it. against the pass. 0 run defense. Again, 9 yards per carry. So your defense completely failed you. And then you have Walker Little completely failing you. Completely. And again, I think that there was poor coaching down the stretch because you know Walker Little cannot block Danielle Hunter one-on-one, and yet you're still asking him to do that. You are playing off coverage. You aren't blitzing. You aren't being creative. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how poorly the Jaguars were coached and how poorly the coverage units were playing on defense late in the game, which again, I do think the calls had a lot to do with that. The complete lack of run defense, Walker Little not being able to touch Danielle Hunter. Look, I don't blame the Jags receivers, Trevor Lawrence, 4 of the 5 offensive linemen, ETN, the pass rush. You have a complete inability to cover. Again, every single pass that Davis Mills completed from this time it was 29-10, outside of the touchdown to Dalton Schultz, which we talked about a lot, outside of that one pass, every single pass, the ball was out in like 2 seconds. That's coverage. So back to the drawing board in a big way. Jags lose 29-36 to the Houston Texans. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.